The video opens with Amadra reading a paper over and over, looking down at it and reading out the instructions for turning on the video camera. When she believes she's done it, having already turned it on, but now zoomed in to the point the top of her head is cut out from frame, she backs away with her hands up and grins as she waves at the camera.
Hello, Miss Kanna. I am making my day in the life video for you now. Welcome to my forge. Today, I make a spata for a close friend. She will be taking authority with our local guard. It is an age-becoming tradition. I have already prepared the wooded grip, so now all that is remaining is the blade. I have most pieces already prepared. All that is left is, well, making it.
Amadra shows a large catalog of steels, hilts, and pommels. She takes down a sword off the wall and swings it a few times, then turns to the camera with a smile.
These all have many, many stories to them. Each sword created for someone wonderful. Most days, they return them to my hand to display them, and to make sure that the use that they see does not wear them down. Like this one.
She swung the sword a few times and moved to a manual grindstone, splashing some water onto it before moving the pedal and watching as sparks fly as she sharpens the blade's edges, without any protective gear.
This blade is my mother's. When I was 12, my father had me come to this forge and create it for her birthday. It is not my favorite, nor best I have made, but it gives joy to look back at this one and see how I improve.
Once the blade is sufficiently sharpened, Amadra wipes it down with the edge of her jacket and hangs it back up. She smiles and moves over to the camera, picking it up and bringing it just a touch too close to her face.
I will let you know if more exciting things are occurring today. Now, how do I...
The camera flips around in various awkward angles before finally switching scenes. Amadra continues to fiddle with the camera for a few more moments before holding it away from herself, showing an upside-down view of the forge.
So, I was just given another request. A very prestigious member of our Elder Circle passed on last night. As he is buried, I have been given the important job to kill his sword.
She unwraps the sword from a cloth, lifting it to the sky to examine its craftsmanship before running her thumb along the blade.
Even after all the years on a shelf, it is as deadly as it was back then. Somebody loved it enough to always look after it and make it as pointed as his brain. Is that a phrase? It sounds wrong.
She shakes off the thought and instead looks to her thumb, chuckling at the blood trickling down her wrist.
And I am not the most sharpened one myself. I must tend to this before I continue. No undue blood upon their sword, even in death.
She wipes off the blood, bandages herself, and continues to admire the blade for some time before setting it down atop an anvil. She pauses, then takes the tongs from their holster, placing it down beside the sword.
When you kill a sword, you always want to give it the dignity it had in life, so the first thing you do is start the fire.
She does as mentioned, striking the fire of the forge and stoking the flame until satisfied.
I travel sometimes, outside the village to learn more about the weapons of the modern world. But there are no forges anymore. Swords are a fantasy to people, only to collect and not for use. And it is all very frightening. But I have learned many things. Every return, I bring my knowledge.
Amadra takes the sword and begins heating it in the fire, using the tongs and hammer to bend it beyond repair. When she pulls it out for the final time, it has coiled in on itself, and she gently dunks the ruined sword into a bucket to quench. When she retrieves it, she gives a nod of approval and lets it rest on a small pedestal.
I am glad my friend's ceremony is not for a week still. It gives me the times I need for such an important job. But this is a day in my life, Miss Kanna. I hope you have been enjoying the trip home with me. I will make a sword and bring it as a gift the next time I come into class.